Uh, Automatically, we are including different things. So basically, this homepage allows you to put in different projects you are working on, put in the duration, the starts, and the finish. Now, if you double tap any of them, the home page opens to you. Now you have the start information, whereby you have the general, the predecessor, resources, advanced, notes, custom field, and you have your notification. So now this predecessor, uh, now the resources, I can put any name. I can put Ibitoye, Ibitoye's name. Automatically, the units, this unit now, I can team as 50. You can adjust it. This is counted in 50s. Now the cost, can include the cost into it. You could go to advanced, you could go to notes. And in these notes, you can write anything. Probably let's say if Victoria is to supervise. Now, if Victoria supervises construction projects, now I've added as a note. Now look at this thing here. Once I put my cursor on this note, it shows if Victoria is in charge of this construction project. It's a note. So anyone that has access to this page automatically will see this note and will treat it. And to know that Victoria is supervising current project. Now you can see Victoria is the resource name here. Now for this completion of tasks, now for each day, if you are working 8 hours and you are monitoring the project, you say for each day, job is supposed to last for uh, a duration of 13 days. So now you can input the project and you can say on the very first day, did 10%, right? 10% and 10%, yeah. Now, notice something. On this bar here, we are seeing another blue line here. Now, this blue line is showing the task completion. If I increase this completion, this task completion to the moment I increase it, I keep increasing it. If I increase it to 75, it reads here, it's almost completed. If I move it down to 100, so if I click this to 100 and enter, notice this is why here it has. This is showing the progress status of the project, and it lets you know the completion of each project. Now you can include as many projects as you want, depending on project duration and the duration you are given to work with. Now, there are different options I want us to look at here. Now, the same way you can click on this Each one, a predecessor, the resources, you can add anybody's name. I can easily put my name and advance. Now this advance, now by using this constraint type, now it helps to set the deadline. Now look at this now. We have as late as possible. As late as possible means take your time. Okay. As soon as possible, you want the job to be done earlier, as soon as you get it. Finish no earlier than, finish no later than, must finish on, must start on. So whatever command you want to put here, if I put no finish no earlier than, I have to come here. Now the calendar, what time frame do I want to put it? I need to make sure that this project must finish on the 6th, and I include it. Now, this constraint I have set it. Now, when it is getting to that time, it is going to send you a notification that this project must be completed not earlier than so date. That on this particular date, the project needs to be complete. It notifies also the admin that assigned the job to everyone, and I can include the notes, with notifications. But this notification is an advanced option, but we are just working with the demo for now. And if you see my name, you can see Victoria's name. If I edit it, anybody's name comes in. Now, also, there are many options we can play with. We have the share. Now, this share, you could share it to with your colleagues, clients, others. This is the option you can share it with. Now, this export takes you to different. You can export to PDF and Excel sheets, export to an image, export to a PowerPoint, XML, MPP. These are different options that it comes with. Now, this real-time collaboration, it allows other teammates to actually input their edits. I don't know if I want to say anything. Okay. So this real-time collaboration, it allows give different users the ability to input different options. Now we have the projects. Now you could zoom in, project information. Project information, it gives you the details of every project, the deadline, the maximum cost. You could input it, priority. So any information you can put in. Now the project goals. Now project goals, you can input the goal name, you could input the that name. Now, when you click the start name, you have each construction, the foundation, the roofing, the furniture. Now, you could put an achievement goal, the criteria, the value, the status. You could just update it that everyone should know that this is what is going on. So if I pick in my system and I log into the site, I get to see that, okay, this is one achievement that the team has done, and I have access to it, and I get to see it. Now, move project, these are different options you can play with. Also, the view, uh, it has the calendar, the timeline, network diagram, team player, the team planners, the resource sheets, the things I will also show you. Now, for this format, now you could see the styles of Gantt charts now. If you don't want these colors, you can change it from these options. I click it, it has changed. I click here, it has changed. I click here, it has changed to any color of your choice. Also, if you want to change an individual bar, you double tap any bar and you can edit the color from this end. Probably you don't like the color, you need to the color to suit in your organization. Now, each organization has their colors. So you want to use your organization color, so you can edit it to such formats. You click on color. I probably want to use this. Automatically, it has changed here. Now, for this resource sheet, this just shows you the resource name, how many people are involved in this project. You could include them. Now, it has an option where you can put in your email address. You fill in these details. Now, it takes these initials. It takes in your first name, initials, the group. You could add the group where it belongs to. If it's a different project you are working on. Now, the standard rates you want to pay this person. Now, this rate of pay for regular, non-overtime work by resources person. Now, you could include the amount you want to pay the person. Now, if you are working in an organization that has many staffs, you want to include a an amount you pay each person so that you can be able to track it, include it. Now, this cost also, now it includes the cost per use of field. It shows the cost acquired every time the resource is used. Now, for each day you work, you can set it. And if this person works full day, the person is paying $5. You can set it and you can put a code. Probably this code could be a serial number you could choose to include it. Uh, it. Now, we have the network diagram. Now, this network diagram, it shows you all the projects that are working on construction, foundation, the OC, the furnitures. Every information you need, you can see it on this network diagram. Just shows you on how it goes. Now, I can go back to the pictures. Now, there is one key information I want you to know about this project software. Now, it helps us to direct the task and instruct on the command on what to do next in each project. Now, when I click on this, the first bar, I click on it. If I drag it down to the second bar, I can click on it and drag it and join the second bar. Now, you can see an arrow has been formed. Also, I can click the second one and drag it to the third one. It shows another arrow. Now, I can click this one. Now, I can click this and drag it to this. And also, it shows. Now, I want to see this arrow here. When you double click it, now these informations are being displayed to you. It's called the tax dependency. Now, for construction, we have this type. Now, we have finish to finish. We can click this option. It shows start to start, finish to finish, start to finish on one. Now, this first option, this arrow we put in, it's telling us that the moment we finish this project, automatically it activates the next project. If I put in start to start, I press OK. Now, this you say about it? Okay, please hope everyone can hear me now. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, I'll take my
Yes,
introduction.
we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So automatically now I have said I used to this predecessor. It has changed. Now for this tool that is foundation is showing one S to S. S to S means start to start. At the moment you begin project number one, you need to start project number two. I can click on this arrow and I probably edit it. I say start to finish and I click. The arrow has changed. Now look at the fourth one. It means start to finish. That it means the moment I'm starting this project, I should be rounding up this project. Now, when this option comes in, it's a command you put in. Now, if you are doing a construction job and you have to do a lightning for an outdoor yard for security posts, now you know one of the things you need uh, a lightning pole and the light itself. So in the lightning pole, you have to include the lightning pole and you have to include the bulb. So those two uh, projects goes hand to hand. So it means the moment you should be finishing the lightning pole, you should be finishing the lightning itself because you have to mount the pole, then you install the light on it. So on this now, I can include can finish to finish. If you are working on lighting and bulb, it has changed. Now it's showing me for these two, finish to finish. This first one is start to finish. That means it's showing you for the first project. The moment you are starting the first one, you should be finishing this last one. Now it's showing finish to finish. The moment you should be finishing this first one, you should be finishing up the second one. So this is I just edit. You could just edit it whatever way you like and automatically change. So anyone that comes in says SS means start to start. SS it means SM start to finish. FF to finish. So these are the different commands also you can include in the project manual. Now there are some options, advanced options that comes with this. Now in this team planner, it's not going to show because I did not subscribe for this. I had to open it for the demo and it shows you all the teams involved. Now, in this, when you click on this team, now we have the manage accounts. Now, when you click on this add member, you could add anybody with the person's email as long as I registered on the accounts. I could add you on this project with your email and I could assign any tasks to you by just your email alone. I could share these tasks to you and you have a clear picture of what I am doing. The same way up to the timeline. On the timeline, you could add tags with dates, whatever timeline you want. Now, this resource sheet, we have between whatever person's name you want to put. If you have 51 staffs, we include all their names there. We include their email address. Now, the type of work they are coming for work, is it material, is it a course? If it's work, the personnel, we include that one. If you want to acquire a material, probably pipelines, a pipe, and everything, you include them as material. If it's a course, you include them also. Now, on this resource form, also, it shows you the project construction. It shows you the work hours, 11 days, delays. Now, if there's a delay, probably need to work, or probably if you are working on a job. Now, if you're working in a community that you're working in an oil community, the community youth can decide one day to stop your job. So you could also include it and to show in this delay that for this day there was no job. So now this one there's no delay. You could include the delays you want it to in this results form. Shows you the initial, the maximum, the standard cost, information, all these information we have them to you. This resource graph also shows you now this this is showing for the people. It means it's showing you allocated time. If you have allocated, you have assigned someone too many tasks. Once you show this thing, it means you have validated this person. It helps for you so that you don't overwork the personnel. Also, the resource usage. Now, the resource usage, it shows in the daily hours the personnel works in. If the personnel works in 5 hours, you go back to this Gantt chart and you can edit the work time. Also, for that day, let's start the board. It shows you that if you want to include that next one, which task is in progress, which task is done, completion, human completion are done. Add a new column to any information you want to add into it. Then also, this week's view is an additional information you can only view it if you have subscribed to this account. Calculate the risks that are associated to the job you are doing based on the inputs you are giving to. And so basically, this MS project software is a direct software to use. It is just used for planning and scheduling. That is its purpose. So when you share this software as the admin, you share this software to the team, you monitor the track record, and everybody knows on how the draft is. You know what to do and what not to do. So this information just helps you keep a record on instead of the daily bookkeeping, you write on paper and probably when you beat to that paper get drenched and it got bad, you lose that information. So this helps in record keeping also. The moment you save it, you come back and you still have access to this information. So this is just the overview of this MS project. If anyone has a question, the person will quickly ask this question and we can treat it. Time for question.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much for the overview. Insightful, very insightful. In fact, I'll go back again and listen to it and watch. But I just have two questions that I missed out. The first is
Okay.
the duration. So the 13 days, 4 days, and each of them. I mean, how did
Yes.
we arrive at the number of days for that duration, or does it give an estimate when you impute the start and finish and the working hours? Does that estimate just come up? I mean, how did we arrive at the duration, the number of days? Then the
Okay.
second question is the Gantt chart itself showing the name Mr. Ibitoye and Mr. Anthony. That line, like for the Mr. Ibitoye, does it just show, is it still the duration showing that, oh, it takes us from Monday to Saturday? Is that what is showing there? Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good question. Now, the duration automatically updates itself from the start date to this day. It counts the numbers of days before and it gives you the duration. If you are planning for a 2 month duration, you just input on this duration. And if I increase it to 15 days, automatically it changes my date. If probably I don't know the date, I already know my start date. And my start date is tomorrow, which is Monday, 25th. And I want this project to run for 20 days. I can just click on this duration and move it to 20 days. Automatically, the moment I click on it automatically updates here. Or if I click the calendar also and I change the date to on the 19th, I click on the 19th, automatically the duration changes automatically. Now, for this completion task, now there is a column to edit it. Now, you can see I've extended the duration of work to 26 days. Now, look at this chart. It runs from August 24th down to September. You could see it in September. It's so this Gantt chart is showing the duration also of the work. You can expand it and you can also reduce it. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you, sir. But just still one more for this for the sake of clarity. So if I impute the start date and the finish date, and like what we have here is 26 days, but I want the construction to take me for 10 days max. How do I sort that out when it's giving me 26
Ah,
days?
okay. So you click on it. Now, when you come to this advanced, now you have this constraint type. Now, this constraint means now you have to put in the information you need as late as possible, as soon as possible, depending on how fast you want the project to start. You include it. If I put as soon as possible, now I have to put a date. Probably say I want it done September 3rd, and I include it. Automatically, it has set in a time frame. The moment I get to that time and the job is not complete, it notifies you that you are not done with this job. It sends a notification that you need, this is the timeline you have. The moment you don't complete that job as of that time, it's flagged and sent to the management that on this day, this job has not been completed. Do you get? So that's where the constraint comes in.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay,
Does
okay.
anyone
Thank you.
have any?
Uh, um, then you also mentioned that a lot of organizations may not necessarily use this MS project, but they may also have theirs. I don't know. You mentioned that.
Yes. So I made mention of that now. A friend of mine works with Coca-Cola. The software they use, it's a different software. It's a customized software particularly for their organization. In the Coca-Cola business, they deal with distribution and is in charge of the logistics. So each vehicle drivers move from one location, take it, and they have to supply from Port Harcourt to Enugu. So on that software, the software is organized such a way that each vehicle has a tracker. Now on that tracker, it's registered on the software. It shows you a map and it shows you the distance each driver has covered. If it's going to take the driver 5 days to get to his location, on the third day, it shows you the exact coordinates, the coordinates. Probably you have a rule. Now, in the marine industry, we have a rule that you only work from 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening. All operation needs to be complete before then. So if you are probably loading a vessel, when it gets to 6 p.m. in the evening, you have to shut down whatever operation you are doing for that day and continue the next day. So if a vehicle now, you tell your drivers you have to move in from as early as 6 a.m. in the morning and as early as 6, as late as 6 p.m. in the evening, you don't drive at night. You need to, no matter where you are, you need to park the vehicle and spend the night there. In the next morning, you continue your movement based on company policy. So by that 6 p.m. in the evening, I should know that all the vehicles should be parked in a location. They go to the app and they check the current tracker of that particular vehicle and they log it in that as of this time, this vehicle has covered so distance. So each organization, these project softwares are being modernized, particularly to the role of the organization. I hope that clarifies that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Any other question? Is there any other question before we can end this lecture? Also, I would want to bring to the notice of everyone that next week we'll be having a lecture for next week. We'll be treating on how to draft a contract agreement. As a project engineer, you have to draft contracts for different operations, and we'll be treating on how to draft a contract. And we'll also know how to do risk assessment. Also, it's one of the things we are going to look into next week. And I'm pleased to inform you all that I have an expert that is coming in. We are going to have a guest speaker for next week, Saturday. So I urge everyone to please be in class next week. After that, I will share the flyer of the resource person that is coming in for next week. So on this note, we can end today's class. And I hope you all have a good night rest. And you
Good
can
evening, sir.
also visit. Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Well done.
Thank you.
Please, how can we have access to the previous class?
The link would be sent to you by the host.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Any other question for anyone before we can end today's lecture? So if there's none, we can end today's lecture. And I want to wish everyone a good night rest. Thank you for your time for today. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions,
Thank you for your time.
send it directly and I will attend to it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.